Welcome back to Hardball, originating tonight from Philadelphia. Joining me right now is the city's mayor, Michael Nutter. Mr. Mayor, why are so many New Jerseyites who commuted into this city angry enough to dump an incumbent Democratic governor? What's up?
Well, good evening, Chris. I don't necessarily know about that. Obviously, it's a close race, but Governor Corzine has had to make some pretty tough decisions, and that sometimes can upset folks. But he is a great leader. I have a great working relationship with him, and I know you were asking earlier for predictions. Governor Corzine takes that race tomorrow. Maybe a little closer than any of us would like, but I believe he's going to win. Okay, I'll remember that and note that tomorrow night, Mr. Mayor. Let's take a look at President Obama today on the importance of jobs, because I want to talk to you about big cities and jobs right when we get back. Let's listen.
Having brought the economy back from the brink, the question is, how are we going to make sure that people are getting back to work and able to support their families? It's not going to happen overnight, but we will not rest until we are succeeding in generating the jobs that this economy needs.
Wow, you know, when the president spoke late this last week about saving 650,000 jobs, what does it mean to save a job? You've had all this layoff challenge in the city with this recession. What's it mean when the president says, I've saved a job?
A saved job is a person who's still working, who's still taking care of their family, still taking care of their responsibilities. At the local level, of course, that's a person who's still paying taxes and helping us to provide high-quality services. There is no question that the president is focused like a laser beam on the issue of saving and or creating jobs here in America, getting Americans back to work, getting Philadelphians back to work. We're utilizing our economic recovery dollars to put people in training programs or start projects, but also it is about saving jobs. And we're very appreciative in Philadelphia for the great work that the president is doing. He's made his White House accessible to mayors all across the country. I was just in D.C. last week with a group of mayors, meeting with the director of the National Economic Council, Larry Summers, and his team to talk about the difficulties that cities are still having in balancing their budgets, providing services, and none of us want to lay people off, but we have to live within the budgets that we have. The president cares a great deal about that, and his team is working to help our cities provide high-quality services, but more importantly, keep people working or create jobs and get Americans back to work.
Philadelphia's got $157 million in stimulus money this year, but only about 14 or so, I hear, to check me on this, has actually been spent yet. How's it stand, and why don't we feel this, this real comeback of spending?
Well, the challenge here is, and we're very, as I mentioned earlier, we're certainly very appreciative. We've been awarded $157 million, but you know, the time frame between the award and actually receiving it in our Treasury, there is a little bit of a lag, not just for Philly, but cities all across America. As soon as the dollars come in, we're going to be working hard to kick them back out and get people to work. There are 300 to 400 folks in a training program for alternative energy and sustainability right now in Philadelphia. Thousands of young people this past summer were working as a result of ARRA funds availability. So there is job activity taking place in Philadelphia and many other cities across the country. But if you can try to imagine getting over $700 billion out the federal doors from a variety of agencies and departments, some of whom their funding sources were brand new and had the right regulations. The president and his team are working hard. We know that. And as soon as those dollars come in, we're sending them right back out to get Americans working.
Yeah, Philadelphia's got an unemployment rate of over 11% right now. How long do you think it'll take for all this federal money to stimulate a big reduction in the unemployment rate?
Well, I think that, you know, the tail end here of 09, we're still going to be challenged, and more than likely into 10. But getting people to work, and as I mentioned earlier, some of that activity is starting to happen. I would think that through the calendar year 2010, we should start to see literally thousands of people back to work or newly created jobs through weatherization funds and the green economy, energy efficiency. All of those programs take place right here on the ground. We're looking to retrofit many of our own municipally owned buildings. Those are jobs that can't be outsourced. They have to take place right here in Philadelphia. Last week, I was at a training program graduation. 24 guys who all were unemployed last Monday, all now have jobs from a solar panel installation training program. 5 were ex-offenders, 6 were veterans, and many others had different stories, but all had a common theme. All unemployed, dislocated workers, now with this training program in just a few weeks, back into the workforce.
What do you make of this? You know, it's good to be optimistic, but let's take a look at this Macy's ad that ran in the Philadelphia Inquirer this morning, full page. I know you've seen it. This is a unfortunate prediction as how Philadelphia's going to do. It's basically got the Phillies winning the World Series. Would you please explain what impact that's going to have on people's morale to see that this I mean, I love Macy's. It's the old Wanamaker's, but that's a lot of money to spend on a mistake, especially when things aren't looking so hot over at the bank.
Well, I think, first of all, Philadelphians are supremely optimistic, and, you know, we certainly want folks to shop at Macy's. They've been a great corporate partner here in the city. Look, it's 3-1 is a very tough circumstance, but these guys have come back time and time and time again, took the first game up in New York, and we're, of course, optimistic about tonight, sending this series back to New York to battle it out up in Yankee Stadium. But you can't take anything away from what the Phillies have done, whether it was last year, taking the World Series, this year, coming back to the game, back-to-back appearances, and they're going to do everything they can, I know, Charlie Manuel and the guys, to bring us a win home tonight.
What's a polite way to say Yankees suck?
Go Phillies.
Let's take a look. Well, tonight I do make a prediction. The Phillies, if they win tonight, could win in New York because they are one murderous team on the road. They are a great road team. You'll see how good I look in this hat, Mayor. I'm born to wear this hat, and in fact I was born wearing it. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Mayor Michael Nutter of Philadelphia.